It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àwọn ọlọ́pàá máa kó anybody lẹ́nu.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀. Maiyegun diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary.
Please share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Maiyegun is back. Maiyegun today.
Làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun.
My husband is not a magician.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Whatever Nigerians are going through right now, you better continue going. There is no solution from the stable of Kolu Tifnumbu.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
yes.
Man, they told you will hit the ground running. Cannot even be found. They said, he's not a magician. Does it take magic to run? Hit the ground running. That is from Remi Werepe. Remi Tiflumbu.
And yes, Presido Barufio. And yes.
Obagoza Zu Ze. Otunti Ze. CSU has delivered. CSU Tibokadi. All the records don't cause Igbo problems are now in the custody of Atifku's lawyers. It is about to go down. Share the broadcast.
Yes, and yes, Ojelu Esuraki. And yes,
Mutideo. Like I told you, October is a pregnant month. Is pregnant, and this same October, that October will deliver. Whether it is going to be a boy, a girl, twins, triplets, quintuples, and all of those, we don't know. But there is something that is so certain. Tiflumbu does not want us to find out whatever it is buried in that America concerning Pablo Ekowasi, Tiflumbu Jaga Banditi, the Jaga Wiri, Jaga Addicti, Aṣíwájú àwọn olè, Aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò, Aṣíwájú àwọn pickpocket. Some will say Aṣíwájú àwọn atọ̀ọ́lé, that they love to sing. Their popular song is that on your pampas they shall shout. On his pampas they shall shout. On his pampas, Bola on your pampas, Bola on your pampas they shall poo. The category of the degenerates that are brought in, Kolu, that would never want us to know what is going on. This October, now everything we go hear, now everything we go see, we will know who is this man. I mean, we would have the real picture of what to tell our children. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be one of those parents that will lie to their children that there is something called the labor of your heroes' pasts. When you begin to scrutinize those who paraded themselves, dead or alive, that call themselves the heroes' past of Nigeria, we have discovered that majority of them are crooks, criminals that were never caught. Even when they were caught, still got compensated. They were never punished. Those are the heroes' past they are talking about Nigeria. I am talking about those ones who told us that what the elders see when they sit down, if a young person goes to the Kilimanjaro, he will never see it. Then we started asking them, elder, come here. Whatever you saw 40, 50 years ago, did you see Nigeria becoming this, what it is today? Did you see that, elders? Did you see a divided Nigeria? Did you see an impoverished Nigeria? Did you see a Nigeria that is terrorized? And did you see a Nigeria that is intentionally impoverished? Don't insult us, we are older than you. Respect your elders. Do you see the problem there? Elders that will never take responsibility. And that is why we are where we are today. So I am not going to be one of those that will tell my children that the labor of our heroes past, the labor of the criminals past in Nigeria was to loot our future. That future is here. Those who are currently with us, that the future we are living right now, those who looted that, most of them are dead. You see the caliber of those who are looting us and then destroying what is it today? They are not destroying today, they are destroying tomorrow. the tomorrow that your children, my children, will grow up into, an uncertain country, an impoverished country, a country where you should rather kind of sell yourself off to anywhere as a slave than to exist there as a citizen. So that is why platforms like MaiyegunsDiary, Politico is always going to go against the norm. You know, Nigeria is a country where abnormalities have been normalized. So for somebody like Maiyegun and the disciples of the Temple of Truth, where you are right now, we will choose to go against that norm. And we encourage you to do the same. Whatever you have, whatever hope, whatever thing you are building up in Nigeria, whatever they told you about Nigeria, they told me too. Everything you know about Nigeria when you were growing up, I knew them too. The same conditioning of how you should be, what you should do, if you want to be this, if you want to be that, they told me too. We were all conditioned to accept all this madness as if to say, that is the only option we have. So, you better join us. You better join the resistance. Join the resistance. Those who will never accept this madness, and they will do everything to crush it. You know something? The popular saying that if you can't beat them, you should join them, was probably coined from the corrupt cesspool of criminals running Nigeria, like traditionally. If you can't beat them, join them. If you can't, you can't beat them, just join them. And a lot have been joining them. But we choose another philosophy on this platform. We said, listen, it may take time. If you can't beat them, join us. Some of us cannot beat them individually too. So we have decided to team up by starting the revolution called Revolution of the Mind. You know, when you begin to look at things and you're like, this is not normal. And you begin to reject every abnormality, mentally, psychologically, it becomes difficult for those who have always been brainwashing the people, impoverishing them so that they can keep them under control. It will become difficult for people like that to control you. Your mind. Revolution of the mind. Now, when you now meet other people who are also angry against that system, against those criminals, who don't give a damn about us or about our future, our existence, or anything other than just to tell you what they want you to hear. By the time you join us, it will no longer matter whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Ijo, Ishekiri, the Nupe, the Tifis, the Igalas, the Jokuns, these are people in Abuja, the owners of Abuja, the Baggy people. You no longer identify as that in the face of existential threat that these guys actually pose. That is the revolution that we need first. It is already happening here. Okay? And then when we are ready, like I told you, you won't join them because you can't beat them. You will join us. We will then team together, put all our hands together, come beat them. And we are on that journey. Information. Something they don't want you to know. Something they believe that if you are aware of it, you'll be so angry. You'll be so angry that you have believed all your life lies told by this crook. Now, you see, the answer to why Nigeria is not working and will never work will begin to appear to you just like that. And you begin to be like, oh my God. Oh my God. There is no way a country will exist this way and be run this way and will ever prosper or progress. There is no way. Then you begin to agree with us. In that state of anger, controlled, managed anger, we will take back our destiny. We are not there yet, but we are on our way there. That is why social media is a great threat to the criminals ruining Nigeria. They were everywhere. Kolu that didn't tell you anything. He never debated anyone. He never had any serious conversation around whatever he was going to do during their campaign. He was everywhere telling you, I came here to dance. Jagaban. Everybody vote for Jagaban. Jagaban. Everybody vote for Jagaban. Hope is here. Happiness is here. Food is here. That is the character that is coming to save you from a ruined country. An intentionally destroyed country. Because that's exactly what APC Egbekegbe did. They intentionally, okay, destroyed every fabric of that country. Divided the people on a rhetoric of if you don't agree with us, you are an enemy of the country. Did you hear that? That was the trajectory where how they ran Nigeria under APC. Egbekegbe. If you ever disagrees with all of what they were doing or decided to expose them, you will become a target. Not because they would eventually go back and deal with that problem. Sure you get? No, they will deal with you. It became so sad that when the insecurity in Nigeria started escalating from Boko Haram to ISWAP, from ISWAP 1 to ISWAP 2, from ISWAP 2 to Fulani terrorist, from Fulani terrorist to the one they call banditi, unknown gunmen. The entire Nigeria became captured. Entire Nigeria. Insecurity became something that people had to cope with. You see this Olori Bruku APC, Egbekegbe, today, they were defending APC, Egbekegbe, protesting against government failure, government bad policies, government inadequacies, government corruption became haram. Shomokotonje haram. Haram ni haram. Forbidden. It's a sin. Haram. The civil space became sort of strangulated. And they boldly said, protesting or gathering is not allowed in a democracy. They praised Buhari at the time. Intentionally, while the terrorists spread all over Nigeria. As they were destroying farms, they were killing farmers. As they were kidnapping women, they were raping children. As they were looting military armory, they were shooting down fighter jets. It became a theater of absurdity. That was when Nigeria earned the title, the second most terrorized people in the world. And just like that, this was the physical attack, the physical terrorism against Nigerians. So there is another one, economic jihad, economic terrorism against Nigerians. They were doing it. It was like, it's okay. Endure. Buhari is working. The result of all of this will start happening in 2 years' time, in a year time, in the clinical time. People were dying. Those who died of hunger are more than those who died in the hands of state-sponsored terrorists called Boko Haram and Fulani terrorists. Don't let that shock you. More Nigerians died because they couldn't feed than those killed by the terrorists. In fact, more even died because they couldn't afford the medical bills to take care of themselves. I mean, Nigeria is a place that is so unreal. Every logical things from elsewhere doesn't make that, it becomes illogical in Nigeria. Don't take any template from anywhere and take it to Nigeria that you want to use it to kind of solve any problem in Nigeria. It will be defeated because the Nigerian issue, You see that devil way now they go to Saudi to throw stone at, eh? Those are the ones who are wearing Babariga right there with you in Nigeria. Buhari unleashed economic jihad on Nigerians. First, the subsidy they called scam. The subsidy fraudsters, those who are collecting the money, who happen to be the friends of government as well. Majority of them inside the APC. One of them, Abubakar Bagudu. Abubakar Bagudu happened to be the former bagman for Sonny Abacha. Abubakar Bagudu succeeded in helping Abacha to siphon billions of Nigeria's money that he had to cut a deal that for him to show them where the money was, they would need to give him 20% of that and immunity from prosecution of the crime. He got that and he became very rich. He became governor of Kebbi State. And these are the characters at the time inside the APC, Egbekegbe, economic jihad, as they were stealing people's money from their banks and bank accounts. So were they stealing whatever it is that you can call the revenue earner for the country? Forex earners, like crude oil, gas, and what have you. Nigeria Naira became almost a tissue paper. Nigerians lost their jobs in a way that that they have never seen or witnessed before under these criminals. I mean, how do you explain a country governed by lunatics and the career criminals, and in 8 years, unemployment jumped from 13 million to over 80 million, where right now, more than 70% of the population have no real job. They just have something to get by. That is not even just the problem. That you even have that job does not even add any value as well. Because whatever you get from it, every day, your Naira continue to depreciate and depreciate. And if I have to put that in figure, in number, right? In 2015, right, the value of your Naira to what it is today, and that Naira lost more than 80% of its value. Today, the Naira is just like that paper. You just need more of it in order to get a cup of coffee. And that is more or less like the road to Zimbabwe. You use wheelbarrow to push your money to go and buy bread. You will see money on the road like papers. And when you pick one and you realize that the value is not something that can even buy you go, you throw it down. On the way to that, but guess who suffered it? Businesses. More than 1.2 million businesses shut down in Nigeria. Whether not big, medium, micro, or macro, it doesn't matter. They were folding up like that everywhere. These guys ruined Nigeria to the point that Nigeria is using 100% of our own revenue to service debt. It's not paying debt to servicing debt, and nothing is left but to borrow more. And in that 8 years, I was here shouting every day, every hour. And guess what? APC, Egbekegbe, that was doing all of this, destroying Nigeria. They were calling people like us enemy of Nigeria. People lost their lives, lost their savings, lost their investments, lost their jobs, lost their businesses, lost things. A lot of people lost relationship, lost their family under these 8 years of APC. Egbekegbe. Then they said, person where they dance is coming to come and solve the problems for them. A demented, sick Kalu. Then they put up all of the package. They couldn't sell him. So they had to resort to tribal, ethnic, and religious divisive politics. And right before our very eyes, after doing that, they are turning it around to say, oh, other people actually turned the politics to politics of a tribe, politics of ethnic, politics of religion, when we saw everything that happened in black and white. And that's what they do. They would deny so outrightly that you'll be wondering like, oh my God, is that not what I saw? Even when you present the evidence to them, they will be like, no, that's not what we meant. You are the one who was trying to cause this and that. Because it is their stock in trade. They don't take responsibility. So, Sanwo-Iku and the set of people who organized the killing of Nigerians, when Nigerians were asking them to stop police brutality against the young people. Sanwo-Iku, Tifnumbu, Remi Werepe, Buhari, Pastor Ruga, this one, GBAJUE, and the other one, Femi Adesina. They said, the same characters and the same people have now turned around, and they are now in power. Put it that way. They've managed to rig themselves in. The country is still divided. The country is already in a hole. Sanwo-Iku said, whatever is the problem that Nigeria was facing, Tifnumbu has the magic wand. Do you know the people that hold wands? Magicians. Magicians that will do abracadabra. Abracadabra. Turn, what do you call it? Turn stone to bread. Abracadabra. Let there be light. Abracadabra. Naira should turn to $1. $1 should turn to 1 naira. Only for Remi Werepe to come out 4 months after that, looking so angry. Like say now we told the world that Kolu is a magician that is coming to come and change Nigeria from the ruin that Buhari brought upon Nigeria. You could tell she was talking fast. She was talking like somebody who is kind of, why do you hate us? Why are you blaming us? We inherited a ruined country. Now who ruined country? Who ruined Nigeria? If you see Tifnumbu, it will be talking about some powerful people are the ones who are enjoying this money. I don't need money. I don't need house. I don't need land. I am for you, the poor. I am for you, Nigerians. So they are wondering, why is it that people don't really like them? You know? So, Remi Werepe was at an event today. I'll first play you that one.
We are not here to put blame on any administration, but to fix what is damaged. My husband is not a magician. He's going to work brick by brick, and I believe and I hope that you will have faith in this administration. The best is yet to come for us.
Did you hear that? It's like, why I don't understand why you people don't understand us. My husband inherited a ruined country. Who ruined Nigeria? We don't want to put blame. We don't want to blame anybody. All of you know now. Abi, you know what somebody told me? Listen to this one. It's like a narrative for all of you to understand Tifnumbu better. And whenever we say Tifnumbu is a career criminal, I also want you to understand that context very well. Normally, people believe that people like Tifnumbu, they play a long game. when Tifnumbu was supposed to be doing his drug dealing, that one that they were importing rice to Thailand, I be from Thailand, with Wole Soyinka that time. That would have been early 90s, Abi. But before then, in the 80s, there were also pandemic of drug, what do you call it? Drug smuggling. If you remember, what's that woman's name again? Mary Ocon. The one that they said was bringing in, was arrested for drug trafficking or so. What's her name again? Anyway, you shall remember, Sha. It was in the mid 80s and late 80s. Okay, sorry, late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, and then early 90s. Drug trafficking. Gloria Ocon, God bless you. Do you remember that Atifku was a custom officer at the time? And there was a time of 11 briefcase passing through the custom that Atifku said he allowed it to pass. These were briefcase of Buhari and his family and all of that, money or whatever. You remember that story? That's not where I'm going, okay? I'm trying to give you the context of a long game that criminals like Tifnumbu are very, very good at, okay? Here, remember that Atifku was a custom officer, Oga, in custom, Abi? And Atifku was said to be very rich when he was a custom officer. It was also those era that Tifnumbu and his gang were doing drug trafficking at a wholesale scale, industrial scale. Yeah? So one way or the other, Atifku said he has known Tifnumbu since the 80s. I'm talking about when they were friends, which means Atifku knew Tifnumbu very well as well. Abi? Now, fast forward, okay, to 1999, all right, when Atifku became vice president, Tifnumbu became governor of Lagos State, okay, but they were in different parties, PDP and AD. Now, this new adventure coming from their background, though, when Atifku and Obasanjo started their fight, no, before then, when Obasanjo decided to withhold the local government money for Lagos State because Tifnumbu created extra local government areas. And Obasanjo said, no, they will not give him any extra money and they will not identify those local government areas. Remember, Atifku was Obasanjo's vice. Atifku was Tifnumbu's friend. The deeper story of how Obasanjo was unable to kind of twist and punish Tifnumbu in 2003 when Obasanjo sold that bobo to all the AD governors in southwest Nigeria, that because Yorubas didn't support him in 1999, only the north supported him and the eastern Nigeria. For Yorubas, I mean, that didn't give him credibility enough. As a Yoruba man, Yorubas didn't support him. So he now sold that bobo to Yoruba governors, including Tinubu, that if they allow the Yorubas and they are supposed to vote for him, he will make sure that all of the Yoruba governors return more or less like unopposed, that they shouldn't worry about the PDP governorship candidate. It was only Tinubu that got the memo that was not the intention of Obasanjo. Obasanjo wanted to capture Southwest. Who told him? Who kind of told Tinubu about that? It wasn't because Tinubu is a genius, no. It was because he was a friend to Atifku, which later showed up in their future relationship. If you remember, in 2007, when Atifku was trying to succeed Obasanjo and the fight that happened between them later in their second term, it was then that Tifnumbu decided to start another political party called AC. Sure, you remember AC. So when Atifku was not going to be given a ticket in PDP, it was easily offered it to him by Tifnumbu at the time, if you remember as well, right? Okay. Anyway, when Obasanjo created EFCC, and Ribadu became Obasanjo's attack dog. So what happened? They unleashed him on Tifnumbu. So somehow, Tifnumbu used immunity to escape everything that Ribadu threw at him. But the moment Yaradua succeeded Obasanjo, and Obasanjo could no longer control Ribadu, what do you call him? Tifnumbu, at the time, befriended Ribadu again. When Ribadu became the target of Yaradua's government, when he was removed and sent to Jos in Kuru to go and do strategic study in Kuru. You remember that time? So they said it was, a James Ibori that told Ribadu at the time that being the best friend to Yaradua, Ribadu will be removed as EFCC chairman. He will be demoted, then he will be jailed. And that's exactly what Yaradua was doing at the time, Abi. He got demoted, sent back to Kuru, and that was when Ribadu ran away. You remember? That is not actually where I'm going with, okay? So where is Tifnumbu and Ribadu crossed? Tifnumbu befriended Ribadu, made Ribadu the presidential candidate of his new political party called ACN. The same Ribadu that was going after him for corruption and other crime, he befriended him, okay? Made him, just like he did to Atifku, he made Ribadu presidential candidate of his political party, okay? Then he told the world, Buhari is a jihadist. Buhari is a divisive figure. Then when it got to 2011, when Yaradua died, Jonathan became president. Now, Jonathan wanted to contest the election for the first time. He realized that the northern Nigeria are so angry that they just lost their own slot to the death of Yaradua. They wanted Jonathan out of there. Jonathan befriended Tinubu. You know the story as well. Whereby Tifnumbu was made a deal that will make him get whatever he wanted politically, especially in southwest Nigeria, to keep his own space without any threat, as long as he, Jonathan, can get the support of the West. And with the backing of $2 billion, this is also a factor. He befriended Jonathan. Now, that moment, when he befriended Jonathan, he was campaigning for Ribadu. So Ribadu was just like a baiting worm to get access to Jonathan. For meeting Jonathan, seeing him in his own vulnerability, he now sensed that, he can actually be president. I mean, he can be president. Look at this guy. See how scared he is. See the way he's talking. If I tell him anything right now, he's going to do it. That was when the idea of becoming president of Nigeria finally come to Tifnumbu. Like fully, it is doable. So those who could be his obstacle, those who could expose or anything at all, he befriended them. But this Jonathan, we are going to finish this one. This one no get liver. A year after Jonathan became president, Occupy Nigeria campaign started, well-funded, well-sponsored, and Jonathan folded. Around that time, he was like, yes, I was right. This Jonathan no get liver. But he can't just go and be president. He will need somebody to be the bait first. That was when he decided to go and befriend the jihadist CPC of Buhari. Maybe Buhari should come first. Then after Buhari, then it can be me. That was how Tifnumbu plotted his way to be president of Nigeria. And those who knows him better, it's like having compromise on one another. So when people said, why is he so determined to stop the Chicago State University from releasing his record? And why is Atifku so invested in making sure they release everything? What do they know about themselves? I told you, it is not because we are smart, intelligent, or have all the resources and all that, that will crumble the greedy establishment in Nigeria. First thing first, they are going to self-destruct. You see these criminals? And all of the information we are going to use to nail them, they would have to give them to us by themselves. And that's exactly what they are doing. All I have to do is to make sure that all of you pay attention. Not just pay attention to those information. You actually get connected to those information. You need to be connected to them so that you can react accordingly. You can react to them intelligently. So that when you fight the fight at the end of the day, somebody else or another set of criminals will not be those beneficiaries. Ask those who thought they were fighting the military from 1993 to 1999. Those who died, those who went to jail, who were fighting for military at the time. When the democracy finally came, the criminals who were friends of the military and the military themselves, they changed their jersey. Once they changed their jersey, they started speaking like civilians, and the entire rotten system remained even worse. Because those who genuinely thought they were fighting for democracy believed that they were not politicians. They were not cut out for public office. They were not cut out for leadership. So they abandoned the old success to the same criminals that pretended to be fighting democracy with them. 24 years after that, people can't even tell if not democracy, plutocracy, kleptocracy, or unitocracy. Some even said it is demonstration of grace. And in all of this, it all comes with it. Everything comes to one single definition. This is not democracy. Because if you want to fight these criminals when they destroy themselves, you have to make sure that none of their remnants, none of their proteges, none of those associated with them who believed in them, who enabled them, has any chance of leading a single house, not even a community. Again, right information, education, and connection with better psychological preparation, like all the shon that you can think of positively, will come handy when we are connected, so to say, when you have the real connection, so to say, to the information you are being given. Sorry, I do that sometimes. Just want to be like, nah. And that is why you see Nigerians, they speak big grammar. But most of the time, they don't have intelligent thinking. They cannot think critically. Critical thinking is like a job that a lot of people don't really want to apply for. But in this case, they are now telling you they are not magician. Okay? Even Kalu said, whatever you are going through right now, if you are seeing Shege right now, my dear brothers and sisters, with the love from here, you haven't seen anything yet. If you are going through hell, as you are watching this video from Nigeria, look at me very well. The best idea for you, or the best advice for you, Alaye, continue going, tell me about last year. You will do Thanksgiving, Abi. Even call you right now. In what he told all of you yesterday, what's the solution, Leo? Seriously.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Charade! What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say,
Thank you, Lord.
what
shall I say? Thank you,
Viva, viva,
There is no other way. That is what Kolu said. Briefly, I was on, what do you call it? I was on my Facebook yesterday. And then one of those, the usual living in denial, unity beggar, Aslika, and the rest of them like that. One of them now said, Maiyegun, you can cry and cry. You will cry for 8 years. And I was actually in my car. You know, sometimes when I'm in my car, I'll go live on Facebook so that to show those who are in Nigeria that where I live is not heaven. It's not being governed by angels. Okay? Provision of basic amenities is to the beneficiary of all, not just the rich or the poor. So I do show that. And I go, they had my own, what do you call it? Ekwe to eat once in a while. I'm adding the ekwe to those who have made Nigeria what Nigeria is, and they have turned Nigerians to what they are. So I was in my brand new Akana, 2023 brand new car. That's what I drive. Let me brag about it, okay? Don't take any offense because of what I'm about to tell you. I drive 2023 brand new car, okay? And I live in a country that is sane. However, me now kind of sharing all of that to say, sure, we don't deserve this. Sure, do we not deserve good roads in Nigeria? Do we not deserve, you know, a clean environment there? Do we not deserve this better standard of living? Must you be rich before you can actually live? So somebody now said, continue to cry. Now, so you go cry for 8 years. And I said, Baba, even though we know that the destruction that these guys have done on Nigeria and on Nigerians have made a lot of you mentally deranged, etiyawiri. But sometimes I do ask myself, that are you actually happy? You are happy with the way you are living in Nigeria? Are you happy that way? Like, it's fine, it's okay. And I said, if there's anything to make you understand that your life generally, or whatever is happening to you, it's not because you are a sinner. It's not because you don't know God. It's not because of all those rubbish they've told you as reasons why your life is what it is right now there. I said, if you want to have a clearer proof that Nigeria is only because they born you in Nigeria and they raise you in Nigeria and you are still living in that Nigeria, and that is why all you have known is what? It go better, it go better, it go better, and it may never be better because it will never be better. I said, if you want to understand that difference, that Nigeria is the reason why your life, the way they are running Nigeria is the reason why your life is what it is. I'm talking to those of you watching me from Nigeria right now. If somebody tells you the village people are the ones who are kind of after your life, who are the ones who are making you poorer, they make you lost your businesses, they didn't let you grow, and you need to pray harder. Emi Maiyegun general should be a very good testimony to tell you that Nigeria, and those running Nigeria, they have always been after your lives, after our lives. I am a very good example of that. When I got to the UK, I wasn't happy. Like, thank God I'm in London. No, I wasn't like that. Because I was angry. Very angry inside me. And my anger is the fact that it took me 28 years of my life before I could see the other side of life, another part of the world that is not run and operated the same way these guys are ruining Nigeria and ruining lives too in Nigeria. I was angry. I was angry. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what gave birth to Maiyegun's Diary Politico 11 years ago. And I'm still here, waxing stronger. And somehow, for those who will tell you my story very well, I remember this, I remember that. Of course you do. And now you have seen the progress so much and the opportunity that I have been given simply because of where I am living. Even when the color of my skin could have been a problem, but the opportunity there is there. It's just there for you if you are willing to pay the price. I did. Right before your eyes, I dey buy keke 30 pounds, Sunday market, keke 40 pounds. When they steal my keke, and when I'm on my keke, my bicycle, I will be showing people around. Shey we no deserve this ni? Don't we deserve that ni? What is wrong with the rulers of Nigeria? Now Ogun go kill them. Now I've always been like this on my bicycle. And majority of all these crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, all risers from Nigeria, they've always been telling me, come back home. If them born you well, come back home. As they were destroying their lives and sending more and more of them out of Nigeria, escaping from Nigeria, and more of them being drenched in poverty, being drenched in so many other mysteries that these guys have unleashed on you. You saw me grow, to what I am today. Maiyegun General, still on your very face, on your screen, on your devices. Still telling you, if you continue to defend these criminals, you will remain stagnant. Your children will remain stagnant. No amount of prayer can take you out of that. I've had some of these ashiris at a point. They went on social media and they said, this was about 6-7 years ago. You, this Maiyegun, it be like say they need to teach you a lesson. You don't know Abi. You are not afraid of your life, Abi. You are not kiniko. You better wash your mouth. People were telling me all of that. I think one of the things that converted a lot of you to Maiyegun's Diary Politico is the fact that I managed to demystify some of those myths and nonsense that they do say. That when you have a chance, speak your mind. You don't know who you could be motivating. And if you could motivate a lot of people to believe like you might be saving a generation. And that's why I'm on this. So in 2023, Maiyegun, this Maiyegun that you know now, you are still there saying Maiyegun will cry for 8 years. APC stole 8 years of your life. These criminals have stolen 24 years of our lives. So how old are you? That you are typing from Ajangbadi, from where? Unewi abi, from GBAJUE, Bonikano. Telling me that I will cry. Monk, I am crying inside a brand new car, right before your very eyes. And I'm reading out numbers of the lives that during that same period that these criminals have ruined, killed, destroyed. And you think the cry is all about myself? Me? It's all right. Let's go to Chicago. Right now, as you are watching this video, the Chicago State University has released Tifnumbu's records. And from what we have been told, Atifku's lawyers are now sorting all of the documents they've been given. The records. AK, thank you very much, by the way, for your generosity. That's a lot. Thank you. You know something, one of the things to tell you that I have come a very long way, and I have had people who have seen value in this, and repeatedly they've kind of said that. All right, and I do appreciate every one of you that actually made this. You know, they say people make Glasgow. I would say people make Maiyegun. So when they say, who are your financiers? Who are your sponsors? Who they sponsor you? And I'm like, if you want to know those who are sponsoring Maiyegun, just come on to MaiyegunsDiary, Politico, and meet the member, the brethren on this platform. And then you will understand why and where Maiyegun's confidence always comes from, and why it will probably take a trip to hell and back for Maiyegun to compromise. A contented young man who has also conquered greed. I am grateful to God for my life and for the people around me. So if you want to see those who are sponsoring Maiyegun, just come on to MaiyegunsDiary, Politico, and see people who are doing things, supporting Maiyegun in on their own evolution from the position of conviction. I'm going to support this guy. No, this guy is great. No, he's doing a great job and all that. And the reason why your criminal politicians will never even dream of reaching out to somebody like me. You understand? And if you don't, you are going to understand. So people like AK and the rest of everyone from all this platform across Nigeria and across the world invested in this Maiyegun. Do you understand? And the earlier the better for a lot of you to take an advantage of a calling that is telling you, if you really value your lives, if you value, probably if you do value your future of that of your children, it is time to stop enabling these criminals. This is absolute time to take back your own life from their own chess table, obviously, if you want to. So we have heard that they have released Corlus documents, and we are waiting to begin to dissect them one by one. So I told you before, I said we need to first be sure that Chicago State University is not planning to release documents that we already have. A lot of us already have all the documents of Tifnumbu. Okay? But we are looking for more because they told us there are more. So we are looking for more of this that they said will shock us, and we'll give them more a few hours before we finally begin to dissect them. You can count on me on that. The voila over certificate. Education. I have told you many times, when you go to Nigeria of today, that's the word, bankroll, not sponsor. Who are those bankrolling you, Maiyegun? They don't answer you now. You see, Lord Michael is one of them. Lord Michael and the rest of those who pay their time to watch my videos, those who share my videos, those who ensure that more people are brought onto my platform, those are the people who are bankrolling me. And let me tell you something. All of you, just so you know, you have given me a platform that, except if I'm actually like so greedy, a platform that can conveniently, like as it is currently doing, conveniently put me in a very, very good stead of millionaires. You know that in Naira. So I'm like in the stead of the millionaires. You say that Maiyegun is a millionaire, courtesy of those who are bankrolling him. But they don't have a clue. They have no idea. When they see Sheung Kimbaloye, when they see AIT, and they see all the people who are there talking, whatever they are talking about on their program, they'll say, where are you working? I am working at AIT. Oh, you're working for AIT. Oh, great. That's good. I'm working for Channels Television. Ladies and gentlemen, you are currently on the top, and if not the biggest, political platform from Nigeria, when you say a political platform that discusses Nigeria politics and detail, I still want to believe that there is no other one than MaiyegunsDiary Politico. You know that. There is no other one that actually commands enough presence like you have on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. So, if they ask me, Maiyegun, where are you working? I am the general overseer of MaiyegunsDiary Politico. Go figure. So thank you very much, everyone, for that. So like I said, I do my own research. I bring my own pieces together in order for every one of us to sit together and reason and use all this information, right, to get ourselves shielded from the propaganda, the lies. I mean, they said anybody who really wants to grow, you must be willing and ready to unlearn and relearn and learn and unlearn again. That is how you grow. A lot of us have been told lies all our lives about Nigeria. We are discovering now that they've lied to us. Now, we won't feed on their lies anymore. We will debunk those lies so that those who need to hear and need to know are also brought kind of up to date. So if you have no idea what Maiyegun does, probably, yeah, you know, you should spend more time here. You should. You should. However, let's go forward again, okay? Like I said, we are waiting for the total, dissertation. I mean, a total breakdown of the Chicago info. Mind you, I told you this is October, okay? So this is October, and there's so much that is expected to happen in October, especially on Tifnumbu and the corrupt government of Nigeria. You see, education in Nigeria, when we were growing up, used to be something that, oh my God, they sold education to us as our ticket out of poverty. And generations after generations bought that. You need to be educated. You need to go to school. Okay? You need to be able to read and write. You need to be this and blah, 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 blah. But you see the criminals who are running Nigeria, they now brought the bar. Sorry, before you could get any good job and all of that, if you want to go and work for people, you will need to attain some certain level of education. Our poor parents also bought it. The idea of educating their children so that they would take them out of poverty. If you want to get any good job, you have to get good education. But if you want to be an elected member of parliament or the president or governor of Nigeria, of any state in Nigeria, all you need is just your primary school education. That's it. So which means they set the bar low already in order not to tempt anybody or deny anyone from attaining leadership because of their education. But Baba, over the years, this education now almost become nothing. The value for education has so dwindled that the quality of that education has also dwindled as well, reduced drastically. A lot of people are just getting educated in a way, they are not getting educated, they are going to schools just to get certificate education, or no, that's not the word I want to use. To get a paper confirmation that they went to school. 63 years of Nigeria independence. There is still no homegrown engineering firm that you can say Nigerians who are engineers are building Nigerian roads, super highways. Nigerian engineers who went to schools in engineering were building Nigerian railways. Nigerian engineers are building Nigerian power stations. They are building and designing them Nigeria way. Sure, you get, everywhere you go today, you will see Lebanese, you will see Chinese, you will see German, you will see Americans, you will see British, you will see Italians, you will see everyone from everywhere with the name of their own company, building roads, building bridges, building schools, building hospitals for Nigeria, building power station, building rail line that Nigerian engineers don't build. But they have a league of engineers. You need to belong to that league of Nigeria engineers. You must have connection. If you don't belong and have that certificate of league of Kineko, those engineers will come for you. You have to join them. You have to join the Association of Nigeria Engineers. Nigeria have professors that don't discover anything. Researchers that don't research and discover any new things that could actually change anything in Nigeria. 63 years. Everybody just went to school to be called professor, to be called doctor, to be called lawyers. You have lawyers who are studying law, but they are using a very, very defective constitution called 1999 constitution. None of them is bold enough to say, why are we studying law in a lawless country? They just went to school to be called lawyers, to be called doctors, to be called this. Apologies to doctors, so that one is not the same one. Because doctor is a very serious one. You need to really be a doctor. Nigerian doctors are so, they're like people are looking for them all over the world. So which means they actually so I'm not going to talk about doctors that way. Though many of them will defend their own certificate. Of course, we have quack doctors. Unfortunately, some of the best trained doctors in Nigeria have been taken out of Nigeria. Now you have quacks who are now treating Nigerians who cannot even afford healthcare. But anyway, I'm just talking about people going to school just for the sake of the paper, not to add any real value to that country. So why is Kolu trying to forge certificates? Why did Kolu forge certificates? Why did he want to say he's this or that? All over the world, we have seen people who have done great things, who didn't go to university, who didn't go to school. Yes. We have seen world leaders too, who made remarkable impact on the lives of their people and their countries. They didn't go to school. They were not a professor this. They were not doctor that. They were not the bachelor of the whatever nonsense. They were not. Why is Kolu disgracing 217 million people to real long? Waiting be una offense should be the question. What did you do? Nigeria professors are rigging elections. They are not researching on how best to conduct election, free and fair election that will never be disputable. But they are ready to rig election, professors. And they will be pretending that they are illiterate. Have you seen professors, university professors in Nigeria? They are the ones conducting elections. So. You will see professor that wrote election results. E82, thank you. And that professor will not be able to read his own result. Have you seen that before? INEC. INEC chairman is a professor too. Momodo Yakubu, Mr. Yakubu. That is the Nigeria way. You have to turn to a criminal for you to be able to kind of live in that contraption, unfortunately. And if you don't want to be a criminal, you will be the victim. That they are what? They are victimizing the ordinary Nigerian. That's what they call you. Why is Kolu disgracing Nigeria? Why is he disgracing everybody? The country that pride itself as one of the most educated, one of the country with the most educated people coming out of Africa. Brilliant minds who are doing great things outside Nigeria, all over the world. How come every one of them is currently trying to make it look like those who are trying to understand why Kolu have to lie and forge certificates when all he needed is primary school education to be your president anyway? I mean, I can be your president. Yes, I can. All I have to do is to go and bring my primary school certificate, Muslim primary school to Bolu. I can even add some swag to it. and now the one from Okoke Odogbolu Grammar School. I'm doing too much, Gonsef. I don't need any university. I don't need any degree. I don't need any professor. I don't need anything to be your president. Do you know that? But they don't bomb me well. May I take my Muslim primary school certificate, go empty and say I want to apply for the position of a general manager. They won't even arrest me. No. They will call people to take me to psychiatric home to go and take care of me. This guy know well. So what do you want? I believe that I am the best candidate to be the general manager for the MTN all over Nigeria. Why? How? What do you mean how? I said I am. What? Okay, do you have any qualification to anyway, here is my almighty Muslim primary school Odogbolu certificate. So if MTN now said, we really you the mad, I go tell them, say, you self the mad, I be you the crazy, where is Tinubu's primary school certificate? Is he not your president? Are you mad, But he lied about it. It doesn't have to lie. Or should I say it didn't have to lie? Now he has to spend millions of dollars trying to bury that lie. And they have to tell many lies. So you see, he didn't have to lie. Just tell everybody, I don't go school. Fraudster Sotobokeyamo, a senior advocate of nuisance. Can you believe that? Son, senior advocate of nonsense and the nuisance. He said during the time of Tifnumbu, he was homeschooled. Any man shekpe, luma pabubu te bring disgrace here upon everybody. Ogunloma pabubu yin tomo. Kuwulo no, you are not useful to anything. Oye ko gun pa yin ko waste yin ni. Ogun fun re gan, shogun fun re gan you know. Everybody lo busy lowo yin sin. Everybody don't face one hardship or the other. Somebody said that if you see every Nigerian right now, everybody is going through one or two things. But if you look at me, I am going through more than 20 things. So Ogun and everybody is busy. But anytime we Ogun less busy, cover me kill you down. He didn't have to lie. But he lied. And he's spending money to keep up other lies. But because we already said, we know that the Nigeria judiciary, Juditonshia, no evidence you bring against Kolu will be used. We want to believe that. A lot of us believe that. But others are saying, no, don't say that. Let them bring the evidence first. Omona Tifnumbu's lawyers are now saying that Supreme Court will not accept any evidence from Chicago State University. Egba Mike. Iro ni pekun. Iro no dey finish. You don't turn to Supreme Court staff again. As you they work for Kolu, una see they work for Supreme Court ni. Now know which evidence Supreme Court will accept and which one Supreme Court will not accept. They play. I have said it. I know Atiku himself would never expect your Supreme Court to remove Tifnumbu, Kolu. But let them set the precedence that the Nigeria judiciary legitimize a drug lord, certificate forger, as the president of Nigeria. And the rest of the world can actually acknowledge that. We can't see how that one go play out. Ironic Pekun is talking about, can you even imagine? So, like I said, we will wait for the further release so that we can begin to break them down. The issue right now is that, are you going to go on strike tomorrow or not? Last night, Bajabia Mole called the labor union. I hate these flies, man. Called the labor union to a meeting. And at that meeting, they were discussing how to avert shutting down Nigeria tomorrow, promised by NLC and TUC as their own reaction to the subsidy removal. So what's going to be the solution? Kolu said he's going to pay 25,000 naira extra for 6 months. There is no new minimum wage, but they said minimum wage of Angono. The joke is on them. So they said they will add 25,000 to salary of the lowest paid workers. And then the NLC rejected that. So GBAJUE called a meeting. And at that meeting, they said, okay, we'll add 10,000 to it. And it's not just for the low paid workers. It is for all workers. On your salary next month, or this month, you are going to receive 35,000 naira extra for the next 6 months. APC, Egbekegbe, this quickly jump on social media. And they said, hey, call Lutifnubu has increased minimum wage to 55,000 naira. No, to 65,000 naira. Are you serious? For 6 months? That's a scam. Minimum wage. Once you sign minimum wage into law, it becomes minimum wage. Which one is you are going to give them 35,000 naira plus 30,000 naira, making it 65,000 naira, and you want to call that the minimum wage for 6 months? Hey, they calm down. They quickly deleted that and said, hey, okay. It's just something to give to them for 6 months. They said, after 6 months, Inko, you're going to go back and start collecting your 20,000 naira or 30,000 naira salary, Abi. That's a scam. When are these people going to stop? Here we go. GBAJUE and the, what do you call them? The NLC leaders.
Let me first of all, on behalf of government and on behalf of Labour, thank you and commend you for the long hours you've been here. It's been at closed door meeting with Labour and government side since 3 o'clock. We're now at 7 o'clock, so it's been a 4-hour meeting. A lot of issues were addressed. Issues that concern the Nigerian worker, the average Nigerian worker, pertinent issues. I can't begin to drill them out here, but I am happy to say that after 4 hours, we have reached certain agreements that denote the benefit of the Nigerian worker. Agreements on the wage deal, agreements on committees on salary increment, agreement on the CN bosses, agreement on several other things, I believe, both TUC, Labour, and government side. We will hopefully expect that Labour will call the meeting of their various branches and executive tomorrow to present the agreements that have been reached. And we pray and we believe and we hope that the strike will be called off. So I want to once again thank Labour for taking time out on a good Sunday like this, when they should be with their family, to come and discuss in the interest of the workers. Thank you very much.
Can we have some details of those?
We'll give you. The Minister of Information is here. He has all the details and he will get those details across to you. I believe the President, Labour, and the acting TUC President have a word to say.
Okay. I don't have much to say. What the Chief of Staff have said, we have been meeting. We have looked at almost all the issues, all the promissory notes of the government. We looked at how to translate them to reality. And we've been working. And then we are going to take those promises to our organs. Of course, we know these people think just wake up and review and follow action. So, like he said, we are hopeful that our organs will have a look at them and give us a fresh mandate on what next to do. It's a simple one.
Before the TUC, I must quickly clarify something that can be clarified now, and we also must take Labour for that keen observation. Twitter, there's a lot of chatter on Twitter about the issue of low income workers only falling into the category of the wage people, and they supported that, and that is, we did communicate with the President has quickly did say and agree that all categories of workers will be given the wage bill. There's nothing like low income, mid income, or high income. I think that is what it would like to get on tonight. Thank you.
Okay. We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope. We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
So they were selling themselves Zobo, and they call it the meeting between the NLC and government. GBAJUE said people were talking on Twitter, now called X. People were talking on X, formerly Twitter. Now, so some people they talk, but it will take time before we stop calling Twitter Twitter. Somebody like me, I'm old school. Now Twitter, and go see the column. So that's just by the way. They said people were talking on Twitter when they promised 25,000 naira. Remember yesterday when I said, same rogues that promised you 8,000 naira 3 months ago, and they gave you 8,000 shishi, shengbai, you know, get. They don't turn around and said they are promising 35,000 naira. So, because people were talking on Twitter, they decided to add extra 10,000 to it. Mr. President considered that people are talking on Twitter, they don't like that 25,000, Abi. What do you think, Femi? Mr. President, I think we can just add 10,000 to it. 10,000. Okay, let's add 10,000. Okay. You will tell the labor that we are going to add 10,000, Abi? Yes, I'll tell them. And I also tell the people on Twitter. So will you come back and tell me what they are saying on Twitter? I was like, yeah, I'll come back and tell you, Mr. President. Because Kolu himself, he doesn't use Twitter. Remember, he said, I know they go social media again. No, where is he again? He said, because they abuse the hell out of me. Now that's the Zobo. There is no 35,000 naira. You are not going to get the money. Okay? They want you to begin to adapt to this reality. And anything that will make you calm down for now, they go talk calm. Shall you get? Abiru life will lay. Government said they will increase your minimum, your money, your salary, because of the current economic reality. That's what they said. Then they turn around and said, no, we are just going to give you some change for 6 months so that you can manage, survive for now until you find a way to solve your problem. Because as it be now, like Olu said, everything may be high. This one may be high and that one may be high. But with 35,000 naira extra, all of you go collect them. You should go and figure it out because you need solution.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Charade!
Tisebo, atisete, ati ń parọ́ tipẹ́, atisete, tito òdìmú òdodo òsìmọ́, atisete, kágbàdé fálárì, atisete, kágbẹ̀bí fálárì, atisete, adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó, atisete, òdìlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò, atisete, èdò gbówó mìíràn, atisete, ìjà ń jà aráàlú, atisete.
What do you go do differently is the question they usually the Agbadorians will ask. So me, I no be obedient, so I no feel I'm not obedient, so I no feel answer them for you. But they kind of got a hold of Obi himself today. where all of these questions were thrown at him to also treat, what would you do on this issue of subsidy? What would you do on the issue of Naira? Like, what's your reaction to this Chicago State University stuff? And on and on and on, right? But before I get to that of Obi, it's the guys inside the Arise television studio. They were first in shock of something that I'm going to share now.
Chatter on Twitter.
On Twitter.
So it's chatter on Twitter that people use to make government policies, right? So now, if government says something and I get 100 people and 1,000 bots on Twitter and talk against that policy, government official will say, okay, based on chatter on Twitter, let's change it. Let's change government policy. We've become a joke.
It's a joke.
It's a bleeding joke. For Christ's sake, what nation have we built? Chatter on Twitter. For a labor matter that has been in dispute, the labor government set up a committee to jointly review on the 19th of June. Nothing came out of it. They are setting up another committee. Nothing came out of it. The president made an announcement. And who wrote that speech by saying, low grade average workers? Very derogatory tone. They can't specify the grade level. Then a couple of hours later, then they just called the president to rescind his speech and add 10,000 naira more. And they said, based on chatter on Twitter, who did this to us as a nation? What have we become? I mean, see, if you can't tell the truth because of your tribal or religious affiliation and you see a wrecking ball happen and you keep quiet, you are worse than the problem. I'm going to quote Professor Wole Soyinka, the man in you died that day. What has happened to us as a nation? For pertinent national issues that have lingered for a while, it's chatter on Twitter that make people change their mind. You took this decision without the NLC. You made a lot of other very nebulous decisions
without the NLC.
And when we speak the truth, they say, oh, it's emotional.
No, this is real.
See, you guys don't understand how dire things have become in Nigeria. We're a joke to the world. Nobody respects the giant of Africa any longer. Look at what ordinary Niger did to us. Look at what ordinary Niger did to us. And now we are seated here, we are saying, and this is the chief of staff to the president.
All right.
Chatter on Twitter.
Dr.
Please, I want the government to go and introspect and have dialogue with labor this time around with the...
That's important. There was a lot of chatter on Twitter about the issue of low income workers only falling into the category of the wage bill, and they supported that, and that as we did communicate with Mr. President, and he quickly did say and agree that that all categories of workers will be given the wage bill. There's nothing like low income, mid income, or high.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
You hear them? So that's the guys who were shocked that you are a joke already. Is Nigeria not a joke? It actually depends on which lens are you using, or from which lenses are you watching from. If you are watching it from the lens of, the lenses of sincerity, you can tell Nigeria is a joke. So Obi, what would you have done differently? Let's go back to that studio where Obi himself was talking about leadership, what Nigeria has become, what could have been done, and there was no reason for Tifnumbu forging certificate. And it is true, all over Nigeria right now, certificate forgers, bunch of recovering addicts, criminals are supersede. What do you call it? They are currently in charge of different organs of government in Nigeria today. Nigeria is done for with these guys. Let's go and ask him, Obi.
We are at a point where we're challenging the process. These are part of what makes a nation. The process through which people come into office or assume or achieve anything is far more fundamental than what they do thereafter. It is important that the people come through the right door and not just jump into through the window and start saying, okay, let's move on, let's clean it up, let's do this and everything. No. So we're challenging the process. And that has to come to a logical end before any other thing. And it has to be something that people will seemingly, that's why I said, we have to begin by doing the right things. And not doing the right things, having the right process. On issue of qualification, I never said anything with regards to improving the degree or doing this. The issue of qualification is the issue of leaders making statements, doing things that are honest and truthful. This is an issue of honor and integrity. It is the foundation on which you build society. If you look at what is happening in Nigeria today, there's so many issues of certificates, age, all sorts of one falsification or the other, all over, within the leaders. There's no way people can be doing this and be able to do the right things, because that means they live in a falsified life. And that is not good morally, and a sign it should be given to the society. There's so many great people in the world who did not go to school. And I can tell you, America today, one of the highest, or I would say the greatest president America has ever had, is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln did not go to a formal school. In fact, his entire education is less than 1 year formal education, because he came from a very extremely poor family. His education was by borrowing books and everything, which he did later. But he was able to show, if you read his history, you show that he came from a very poor home and did not have formal education. He didn't have to say he read the PhD here or he did this one here, and then there's an argument like what we're having all over Nigeria today, which is bringing the credibility of our nation into question. If you come to the UK, one of the greatest prime ministers is Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill is known to have had a poor academic record. In fact, his academic record was very bad that his father had to enlist him in the army. Even when he went to take an exam to be able to be enlisted into the British Military Academy, he sat it 3 times before he could pass. Eventually, he became a prime minister, became a great prime minister. You go to the corporate world, the biggest company we have today in terms of market value is Apple. The founder is a dropout, a school dropout. His history shows that. The second biggest company is Microsoft. At least Apple today is about 2.9, if I'm right, about 2.9 trillion company, when African GDP is about 2.9. So it's about the same thing as African GDP. The second biggest company is Microsoft, founded by Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a university dropout. It's written there. It's not, there's no question. The 4th richest person in the world, Larry Ellison, is a poor person. The mother had to give up for adoption when he was 9 months.
All right. So that's
so you don't really have to have all the degrees in the world to be great. But you need to be honorable about your past, so we can know who exactly you are and everything. The world are bound by great people who have poor past and no education, and that forms part of their greatness.
Obi, trying to talk about doing the right thing and then not bringing the entire people of a country to this international disgrace. It be like say those documents don't they come out small, but I'm not going to rush it. Okay, we'll come back to that on another time. All right. Here is another view concerning subsidy removal, floating of naira, and others. One of them.
What I said before is that if you look at what this government have been doing since inception, you could see announcements with limited thinking, which again produces limited outcomes. The temporality of it is like announcement effect. You're just moving, and suddenly, even just yesterday, like you said, 25 naira and 35 naira, that means it wasn't thought through. But let me go back to the one I said I listened to the announcement. A few weeks ago, they announced that they're going to do 75 billion, if I'm right, to 75 companies over the next 1 year. They've done 150,000 naira to what they call supposedly small businesses. I will call it because it was micro businesses and things like that they are going to give 50 million. And then, of course, they've come up with this new one. When I looked at that one, my question is 75 billion to 75 companies. Are these companies in Ikorodu or the ones in just Kaduna or in Inewi? Because for a huge country like Nigeria, you're going to look, if it's looking at manufacturing outfits, you're going to be looking at about 10,000 companies, which for you to make any meaningful impact, you need to take about 1,000 of them and provide them the same 1 billion each, which will be about 1 trillion. If you talk about micro and small businesses, you have about 40 million registered and unregistered in that cluster, and they're your engine of growth. And if you're going to start creating jobs and start turning around things, 50,000 today is approximately $50. So what you need to do is to at least, since there are 40 million, take 10% of them and give them at least 1 million naira each, which is $1,000 as of today, so that you can start meaningfully trying to even create two jobs by making sure that each of them are working. So things have to be done differently, and it must be thought through with proper consultations and economic team that have sat down and analyzed this. It's not just announcing that, oh, we've done this to states, there must be again a coordination between the federal.
Is that different from what I told you, that if they want to really invest in a country and the economy that is in the whole on this platform? Is what he said different from what I told you? That have you seen Tifnumbu come around to say, we are giving this so number of companies so that they can keep their workers, they can pay them well, they can still be running. We're going to give this so companies so amount of money so that to keep them running. Have you seen anything like that? It is just for them to come out and say, small and micro businesses will, they have not consulted anybody, just talk. And that's why you will never see any result, because they didn't plan to really do them. To them, governance is all about the NURTW drivers. They are protesting, so they said they are complaining about bad road, insecurity, extortion, police checkpoint, and all of that. To people like Tifnumbu, they'll just say, who are the leaders of the NURTW? They say, an IMC. Who are, oh yeah, tell them, invite all of their leaders to my office. So when they come, they will say, yeah, give all of their leaders 1 million naira. I don't want to hear any problem again. Talk to your people, okay? We are doing everything to make sure that the road is better. There is no police checkpoints. There is no kidnappers. But we don't want any protests again. To Tifnumbu, that is the solution. That's the kind of way they run their own different, their fiefdom that they call the political or garden or so. They don't have any time for critical thinking, researches that actually involves people. No, that's too much. Who get that time? The geologists are complaining. Things are too hard. Things are too expensive in the market. Go and call me all the leaders of the market women in Nigeria. Give them money. Tell them that I don't want to hear anything about that anymore, okay? Tell your members that they should stop complaining. Government is doing something about it, okay? Or yeah, give them money. That is their own solution. And that's why they will tell you, we are going to give 15 million household 80,000 naira. Because they just sat down there and start talking. How much can we give them? Like, how many people can we say we want to give? Let's say 20 million. 20 million people are going to collect 80,000 naira. Where is the number coming from? Where is the verified there registers of those who are going to get the money? Nothing. Are you working on getting those? No, they are not. It's a waste of time. They don't think. They don't have that time. So somebody said, would be like, I say, how much do you think is going to be enough for that project? Okay, if we are talking about 15 million, I think it's going to cost us about 400 billion. That one no do any math, no do any calculation, no consult anybody. Offhand. Say, are you sure? I don't want to hear that if I give you 400 billion now, you are going to say it's not enough. Okay, sir. Maybe 500 billion, sir. We will try. With 500 billion, we'll do the job, sir. 500 billion. Are you sure? Money they ask you now, okay, I don't want to sound like I don't know how much you have in your pocket, federal government. I don't know, maybe we should just round it up, sir. 1 trillion. Okay, now you are talking. Are you sure 1 trillion? What about 1.2? 1.2 is okay, sir. 1.2 is perfect. Perfect. We'll do the job, sir. 1.2 trillion. That's how they always decide your fate in Nigeria. They don't do any research, just come around and just say nonsense, and then you will be waiting. We are waiting for that policy of government that said they want to give 12 million of us help. Then you'll be waiting. And you go wait until they begin to abuse you, say you are so lazy. You are waiting for government to come and give you money. Look at you. Forgetting the fact that they've already collected the money in your name. They've already shared it. And you are still waiting. Tinubu, I thought you said you are going to give us money. We thought you borrowed 800 billion. Say, shut up your mouth. Go and look for a job. All of them are going to just sit down there. They wait for government to give you money to come and feed you. Sure, you want Tinubu to come and feed you? Tinubu don't take our name, collect 1.2 trillion. Go and collect it from his hand. Don't go look for a job. They wait there for government to come and. That is the life of Nigerians. They will tell them, you are waiting for government, Abi. Go and look for a job, Joe. All of you now go just say shout. Now you want government to do everything. But they don't use our name, collect money. Which money? Go and collect it from them now. No, go look for a job. That's how Nigerians got used to them being sort of abused and insulted this way. Is he the first person that will first steal money? You are waiting for government to come and solve your problem. My friend, you better go and look for something again. That's it. Those who stole your money, they will now come back later. They will be talking about God. Almighty God will make sure that everything I am telling you now, I will do it. I want you to believe that God Almighty loves us so much. By the time Almighty God give us this power, I will make sure Almighty God, I will do this. They say, he's a man of God too. I won't weary. Only Maiyegun problem, but I want religionisty. Money me any problem. When somebody go, they tell me, say, I don't go understand. I they see something physically. I they tell you, say, this thing, this is blue. You they tell me, say, Baba, na red. I say, are you the mad? I say, na blue. You say, no, go and read the Levitical for starting. Kilo came at Levitical. Maiyegun this thing na red. Alaye shake with any money blue lele. I can see it is blue. You can't tell me say I no go understand because say I no get spiritual eye. This must be problem. Religionists in here. Those who actually want to bring religion to politics, you know what I mean? That's why I have problem with them. This whole thing, Maiyegun, this thing is not kana. Our knowledge is not kana. Our kana kilo kemi ati gbogbo were. Moro le to nlo so mi pe if I have spiritual eyes, I will see more things. I should calm down. Just shake me for any. Ibite man, no problem religionist in here. However, there's one more part of what Obi dropped there. Okay, I'm coming back. Oh, I don't want to use most of that.
Well, let me reiterate my position. And I said, first subsidy is organized crime as it was being practiced even before. If you go and look at my tweet of September 19, 2022, and then read my manifesto, it showed clearly, manifesto about Labour Party, showed clearly the way we would have approached it. First subsidy is organized crime. I've said this repeatedly, and it will be, that is going to be removed. I mentioned it during the campaign. I mentioned that what we are consuming is far above what we are supposed to be consuming. And if you listen to Governor Maiyegun's interview recently, he said that a friend of his who was involved in first subsidy gains and everything told him that it is criminal, that he's even tired of making money through that type of crime. It should be removed. Which shows there's a criminality side of it and corruption side of it. Then if you look at, since the subsidy has been removed, our consumption is just about half of what it is, which again shows that what we are consuming. So for me, the approach would have been, and that's what I said, go and read my tweet, is to remove the corruption and criminal side of it, remove the excess demand that is not factual. By doing this, you would have reduced it by 50%. The remaining 50% is what would have been able to, after consultation with various stakeholders, been able to find a way to, in an organized manner, remove and showing the proceeds of the removal or the gains of the removal to be invested in a critical development areas, education, health, and pulling people out of poverty. People need to see that transparency of transferring from here to here, the gains and everything. And when you do it in an organized manner, with proper palliative that are well structured, thought after, not just haphazardly, you would have been able to see Nigerians go along with you. One of the things we are suffering with this announcement is what I can call announcement effect. You see, policies like these are not what you just announce haphazardly. There are things you thought through and everything. That's what we would have done as Labour Party.
And that's exactly what he also said when he was asked during your campaigns. He said, you know, remove the corruption from the subsidy regime and then discuss the process of the palliatives and then, you know, begin to remove that subsidy little by little until and Nigerians will follow. He said it and he's still repeating that, by the way. This guy was everywhere talking about what he will do. APC, Egbekegbe, and their minnows, they were telling everybody, spreading the Igbo hate, the Southeast Nigeria hate, the Igbo must leave Yoruba land, the religious hate. They were spreading them as they were spreading tribal hate in the South. They were they were amplifying religious hate in northern Nigeria, and that's why they said because of Obi, Christians in northern Nigeria for the first time decided to vote against the position of the jihadists who always remember the middle belt of Nigeria as part of northern Nigeria during elections only. They said Obi woke the slumberness in these people. And because he woke the slumberness in them, Obi has ignited religious war. Obi wanted to start religious war. Because they, Muslims, have decided to go for Muslim. Anybody going against that is against Islam, and it's just want to cause religious war. Today, you will see all this Olori Bruku APC, Egbekegbe. Those who were clapping for the murderers, the thugs, the Agbero, they were burning Igbo shops in Lagos, attacking and killing Igbos in Lagos, telling them to leave Lagos for Tifnumbu. Today, those who are clapping for them that time, they are joining others to say, now Peter Obi started religious politics. And some of you probably believe them, just like this Olori Bruku Agbalagba. They call him John Clark, Abi Pepe Clark, Abi no Konshe Pepe Clark. One Ashiri Agbalagba like that. At the age of 90, he is also repeating that same thing. That those who brought Muslim tickets, those who attacked Igbos because of election, those who told Igbos to leave Yoruba land because of election, all of a sudden, now that same young obedient who cut across all tribes and ethnic and religion in Nigeria, all these Olori Bruku, older Ashiri, men and women, like this one where we say, you know them Bimisha, you don't know how annoying it is to see old people, elderly people, to begin to gaslight young people by lying. It's so heartbreaking and sad. Ashiri man,
Trump in 2020 was repeating himself in Nigeria in 2023. All the Pentecostal Christians, both blacks and white, predicted that Trump was going to win the election. He too got it into his mind that God had ordained him to win an election. When he discovered that things were going wrong or not according to what God has spoken to some people, he started confusion. Went nearly breaking down the citadel of American democracy. But he's suffering from it today. The same thing now happened in Nigeria this year. And I am not ashamed to see it. The consortium of CAN in the north, the consortium of the Catholic, the consortium of certain people from a particular area ganged together and brought a candidate on us, as Wale Soyinka was speaking in South Africa last week, GBAJUE. You know what the Yorubas call GBAJUE? They came to us and GBAJUE us. And we were nearly, Nigerian Pentecostal now started like the American Pentecostal. God said this. God said that. God said Tinubu will die. God said this one. And God, and nothing to stop them. So today, till this morning, they still carry on. Because I opened your channel this morning because you had invited me.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
It is smoke Igbo. It is taking them.
Is an Ashiri old man. Did you see the narrative he took there? He said the Christian Association of Nigeria, they brought a candidate on them. He said the Christian Association actually brought Peter Obi. Is that true? They beru long once in a while. They beru bitema kusi, bitema sosi. Like you should fear the place where when you die, they go bury you. If you need to see the kind of horrible people that you've never imagined exist, go to Nigeria. And they have no shame about it. You all saw how this issue of Obi and the obedient came to be. You saw the whole drive. And suddenly, it now became the Christian Association of Nigeria that brought Obi, an old man, 90 years old man. He is called Clark. So that is what they do. Somebody said they have activated him, just the same way they activated Soyinka, activated other useless old men and women like that. Okay? To gaslight young people. Tell them that what they tried or what they wanted to achieve is always impossible. They were misled. Oh, all of you young people, you didn't know? They deceive you, ni. They use Obi to deceive you, ni. You better stop believing or listening to them. They are using you. You better embrace this drug baron. You better take everything and let it go. All of your anger and frustration that led to your own political movement, which Peter Obi is just a beneficiary of. Obi is not the only person who benefited from this. But they wanted you to believe that everything you achieved, all of the sacrifices you paid, when they attacked you physically, when they killed some of you, all this atokuma malo agbaofos like this, all of these unfortunate people, old criminals like that, they want to keep repeating and making it look like you were misled, you were fooled, and making you believe that you have no idea of what you did or what you wanted. It is deliberate. It is intentional. And it's also very good to remind all of you that you did great. You did great. You did what nobody saw coming. You shook the establishment. And that is why today, even though they didn't prepare for this, today they are battling with legitimacy all over the place. Begging people to accept them. Begging people to take them as who they said they are. Because people know who they are, not what they say they are. So when you see all these unfortunate older people, when they try to gaslight you, when they try to make you think that some people misled you, that you wanted a country, a working country, that is a mirage, you will never get it, that all your dream of a better country, better Nigeria, proper electoral process, they said you were deceived, and they want you to believe that. They want you to believe that your effort and everything you did was through they misled you. Don't believe that. You did great. And like many others who have been waiting for the day to take back our own pound of flesh as well, we will meet together to finish them off. Don't back down. Obedience. Do not back down. Go harder. Go tougher. Go berserk. Go berserk. That is do anyhow. What is the worst that can happen? Jail you, kill you, make you poor. Have they not done that already? Is that not what they are doing that you are fighting against already? People like Mark, unfortunate people, unfortunate old men, like Confessor Soyinka himself, in this matter. So today, Diezani Alison Madukwe appeared in London Crown Court. She was arrested in 2015 upon arrival in the UK. And she has been, she is currently on trial for violating the Money Laundering Act of the United Kingdom. Okay? Which means she is bound, could be bound to actually go to jail in this country. But primarily, Diezani is being wanted. She's wanted from Nigeria because they say she looted and collected bribe, also collected kickback from those who she helped through contract to loot Nigeria petroleum industry into the tune of billions of dollars. So for violating the UK money laundering law, anti-terrorism law, and all of that stuff, by bringing money, illicit money to the UK, buying properties and all that, she is standing trial here, and her trial started today. Okay, she has been granted a bail of £70,000 put on a curfew that every 6 p.m. she must be in her home, a place that she will be known to be there. She can do other things every day, but whenever it's 6 p.m., she must be at home. It is called judicial curfew and she can't leave the UK. While that was going on, there's also a news that EFCC in Nigeria have secured the extradition order for her, meaning they will be presenting same to the UK courts. That whatever UK has with Diezani, once they are done, Nigeria would like to have her. So today, men who went to the same courts, at least, to see her for the first time in a long time, add a few of the clips to send in. Sagbola, nobody, nobody is watching right now, by the way. He was there. He was at the court today. Koiki was also there. In fact, Koiki was actually doing a job of, more or less like a job of a real journalist. No journalist that will be following you, asking questions. Answer this. What do you have to say? Say this and all of that stuff, not just following her and you know what I mean. I'm coming. When they arrived.
It's a public place, we can film where we want.
Yeah, she come. The woman with the toxic cancer that time. And she was going to die in 2016. Dele Momodu. Uncle D. I mean, Bob D. But later, like every time I remember that thing, I always feel like Bob D ma crumble ni. Dele Momodu go crumble. He did a very good PR job for Diezani. They painted her head. You know, this is more or less like pretty much like a mockery to those who really are suffering cancer. Some said, but she could have recovered now from the cancer. I said, well, you didn't see the interview that Dele Momodu did for her. They dressed her like she was already at stage 4. She will soon die. They did makeup for Diezani. Makeup. Are you with me? They shaved her head. They did makeup to make it look, she was like that. For those who remember that time. The intention was that stop haunting this woman. Stop attacking her. Stop talking about her. At least have some humanity in you. Come on. Let the law take its course, but stop dragging her. Look at Diezani now. I mean, some people are just like, I know there's Shemisha. I saw Diezani. I know Diezani de Shemisha. Very beautiful woman, oh. Very beautiful woman. Like, Diezani was one of those top, you know what I mean? She can't be the Minister of Petroleum, the first and only Minister of Petroleum in Nigeria. Because since this democracy started, though, Nigeria presidents, after becoming president, they always appoint themselves as the Minister of Petroleum. They know they share that proceed of corrupt oil industry. They don't want share them. They don't want me to do them behind them. Jonathan made this woman the Minister of Petroleum, the first of his kind in Nigeria. But what is the end story? She says she's a target of some powerful people who believe that Jonathan made a mistake for making her minister. And that was why people are coming after her. But what about all these people that are being chased and arrested with money? What about the properties that they took from you? Where did you get money to buy those? They were not my properties. Or I bought them with my money. Or I bought this when I was working at this and that. She wasn't a poor woman, oh. Don't get me wrong, oh. Sure you get, she wasn't a poor woman, but majority of them are also always greedy. However, she ran away from Nigeria, came to the UK. Then people were saying, oh, you need to bring her back, you need to bring her back. Bob D, there was the UK. Oh, there was a film, Nisha. Bob D, if you are watching me, Emma Crumble, Neo. I mean, uncle. Oyekidele Momodu Crumble. If you haven't seen that video or if you haven't seen that picture, you need to go back and watch it. Diezani spoke in a way that people need. That all these things you are doing, you are going to kill me. You are putting me under depression. I'm going through chemo. See, I don't get here for head. See my skin. You know me now. You know I was a very beautiful woman. See, I didn't steal any money from Nigeria. And it was so perfect that I will tell you this. Majority of those who wanted ahead at the time, with the APC propaganda that was still so strong at the time, they started feeling somehow like, oh, in fact, may God forgive us, Jare. This life serve na vanity. This life serve na vanity. See dear Zani. When I saw dear Zani, I cry. I can't believe I cry. So it worked. Everybody stopped talking. Here you get. Until today, and immediately Koiki saw leaving the courts. Koiki pursued her. Koiki Media, by the way, owns the credit to this video.
So that is therein there, as you can see. She has perfected her bail condition, and now she's heading out. All the Nigerians can see Koiki Media, Star Radio UK, as we bring you the live feed for the very first time of Alison Madueke. She must, I'm sure many Nigerians will be excited to see her right now. That is the face of Alison Madueke, the former oil minister in Nigeria under Jonathan. Once again, this is the Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. She has actually perfected the £70,000 bill, and she's not going to be traveling anytime soon, according to the information. So you've been in UK for the last 8 years. So can you tell us why we've not seen or heard from you for the last 8 years? Once again, she's still right here with us. And once again, what has that got to do with you? Don't ask me any question about it's okay. What is okay? Can you say Peluo? What if you harass a journalist in the UK? You think this is Nigeria? Nigeria is the nonsense. So that's her there, and this is Koiki Media, and that is Alison. Just went into that vehicle. We'll be meeting her again on the 30th when she returns back to the court. My name is Olami Koiki, reporting for Star Radio UK.
Anybody will know Koiki very well. Go no say Koiki get shoko. And that was a very, very superb sort of a coverage. Koiki, I owe you one bottle of wine. I don't get money. If I get big money, I suppose that's like a £1 million worth of material there. But if you want to see more, guys, Koiki is a known guy to all of you, to many of you, right? Please take a time. Go on to Koiki Media's YouTube channel. You will see a lot of what happened in that court today. But that particular one, that one sweet my belly. I mean, sorry, sweet my belly so much that I couldn't resist. I had to share it. Okay, go on YouTube and search for Koiki Media. All right, and you will see a lot that happened in that court today, and many things like that, especially from here in the UK. On that note, I am going to draw the curtain. It doesn't matter. Curtain, which means that I am thinking of taking course. So I'm going to take a course. Okay, and if you are still here with me, we're almost 4,000 again on YouTube, and only 1,000 of you have actually chosen to pay your offering. You need to like that broadcast to show that you are here. All right. And I will be so, so grateful when you do that. Okay. Now pick up the phone and you can call in to add your own voice, your own contribution before we call it a night. I'll be back in a minute or two. I want to release document too. The first thing that first came out is that it has been confirmed that Tinubu's certificate is fake now. From the pictures I have started seeing, don't fly around. Tomorrow is going to be Omatik Gonlola. I may end up having to do 2 programs tomorrow. One in the afternoon, which is going to be morning in America. Another one in the evening, which is going to be afternoon in America. Or say this week it go long. I'll show you this one. They say in 1979, in 1979, the type of certificate that Chicago State University actually gave to their students is so different from what Tinubu presented. And in that regard, Baba, if it could be like can launch and see, you know what I'm actually even thinking, right? I'm feeling like maybe I should just take my time. Let's call it a night, okay? Because I believe that it's going to be a long night to peruse all of those information. So that when I come back here tomorrow, we can have a better long one and we begin to see all this discovery. I feel like I am being left out right now. Here you get, people are already sharing everything everywhere. So I won't go take my own time and do that. So I'm so sorry that I'm going to say thank you. I'm sorry. Very sorry. To everyone that, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Take your time and like the broadcast. Still let me share it, okay? And meet me here tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do right now before you leave, okay? Set your notification. The one, you will see a bell at the side of my page on YouTube. Click on that bell. It simply means every time I drop anything, una go the receiver right there. Feel like we miss out. You know, I'm sorry, Charade. My callers, That will be us tonight. And good night from here.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ o làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òkúra olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré,
ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.